Hi, this is a second look at this portable wooden toolbox. I do carpentry and have for 35 years, but I also, for 26 of those years, I have done furniture and cabinet stuff. So if I'm not at my shop, then I may be on a job somewhere working for somebody, and pretty much do finished work now at this stage of my life. But I carry a ton of tools in the truck. Not as much as a lot of people, but I have quite a bit. I have buckets and bags and boxes of stuff. So this, by no means, this is just a sampling of my stuff, and it's all pretty much finished stuff. So there's a few things more I want to put in here, but this has kind of got, like, if I go somewhere and I say, okay, now I'm going to be doing finish work, this is the box I drag out when I go into that mode. This box design came from a man in the UK called Jeremy Broun. His name was Jeremy Broun, and he has a YouTube video in which he designed the original design. I would guess it was only about this tall. This box is roughly, we'll measure it in a second, it's roughly 16 inches tall by about 8 inches wide by roughly 2 feet long. I'll throw tape on it while we're doing it, because my other video I did doesn't have the dimensions, and I think people might want that. It's just made out of number 2 pine. I cut the knots out of it, try to make it pretty. I wanted something that if I drag this out, customer or anybody looking on might say, this looks like a finished guy's box. It looks like something, you know, they're hoping they've got a finished guy there, so this might inspire more confidence in them that they have in fact got a finished guy there. You know, it's going to get beat up. It's heavy. It's quite heavy. Anything you're going to put tools in is going to get heavy. The construction of the box is a carrier rail, oversized carrier rail, with a dovetailed tenon in each end, gripping place in the middle. I've spoke shaved the carrier rail a little bit to get my hands around it. I have small hands, and obviously cut out hand holes to get your hand in there. The sides, I jointed 2 boards together to get enough width here, and put strap hinges on it. There's a small rail here. It's a solid bottom. It's got a little bit of elevation to it with rubber feet. The construction is that the bottom is dovetailed into the sides. They're hand-cut dovetails. That's the only kind I do. Each side will open for easy access, and I'll show you more of the contents of the box. It has a little till in here that's removable. Pull that out, and like I said, this is not everything I want in this box, but it's pretty well got it covered. I have some other finished stuff in the truck, and it'd be nice to get it all down to one box, and I don't know if I can do it or not, but I think I can. I'm currently using these Craftsman chisels. I've had them a while, but they're nice beaters. They actually are good for mortising the way they're made. They have a stout section in them that if I do end up chopping something on the job, I can do it. They're razor sharp. They're held in with a little slotted rail. I tried the rare earth magnets that Jeremy Broun talks about in his video. This design of this box came from a man in the UK named Jeremy Broun. And Mr. Jeremy Broun, thanks for your design. Credit goes to you for the basic design of this box. His was a little smaller and made out of plywood, the original box. I think he would call this the posh version. I tried the rare earth magnets. They failed for me. Probably need to rethink those on how I used them, and I know they can work. I hold this Irwin saw in with a Velcro strap and a rare earth magnet under here, epoxy to the sidewall, so they can work. They failed on my chisels, and I had to come up with a different system. I have quickie screwdrivers that do most of what I would want to do. I have a lighted multi-driver that I like. It's kind of hokey, but I actually do like the thing. I get underneath cabinets and built-ins that I do, and I can't see what I'm doing, and that's got a light in it. This is just an everyday Phillips, number 2 Phillips and slotted screwdriver, and they will do 90% of what I need for screwdriving. I have some squares. I like to carry always a speedy square. I have bigger ones too. I have a 12-inch in the truck and others, but my go-to square is always a combination square, and then I still carry an old-fashioned tri-square. A little bit of that carpenter mentality, I guess. Some of the tools in here are new. I've been revamping, going through my stuff and replacing some stuff, so I have some new stuff in here. It's not all new, but a good bit of it is new. I carry a new cobalt chisel hammer, mallet, whatever. I like the tool. It's a good tool for the money. There's one of my old hammers. I had this. It's an old Broun 16-ounce curved claw. It has first aid tape on it for my grip. I kid you not, I've had that for 40 years or longer, since I was a child. I have 3 saws in here. I've done reviews on the Irwin, and the other one is an Irwin toolbox saw, the Irwin Marathon. It's a rough cut saw. It's okay. I don't really like it. You can do better. You should see my video on this saw. But I threw it in there. A better saw is this Stanley Fatmax. This is a 10-point saw. This is probably good enough. I probably don't need the Irwin. I'll probably take the weight out and put something in that's better. But I do like the Stanley Fatmax saws, and I like the DeWalt saws. I think they probably come from the same factory, but they're throwaways, but they're good saws. I can vouch for these. The Irwin I'm not too impressed with. The Irwin Japanese saw, you can do better. I have a video on that, but it's okay for carpentry work. Cross-cutting's pretty good, actually. The ripping is the one that I have the problem with, and you can do better. But I bought the saw, so I'm going to carry it a little while. The old Marples was even better, and I think Irwin gobbled up Marples or something, and it's some kind of mystery conglomerate now. But the Vaughn is the saw to get, and I have like 5 of those, and they've been better saws and much better for the money. In the little till, I have some auger bits because I am old-fashioned and I like a brace and bit. I just think when I truly need a clean hole, they work 100% of the time. So I like them. I can't say that I use them every day, but when I want them, I want them. So in keeping with that, I carry an old bit brace in there. I like bit braces for screwdriving. So I throw the chuck adapter in and then throw in a magnetic driver, and I put hex bits in there, and it's great for high torque, slow speed driving. And if you use hex shank drill bits, which I carry a few, you can throw a hex shank drill bit in there and drill small holes. So it's the original battery drill. I'm old-fashioned and I actually like those. I do carry a mortise and marking gauge. This is an old Freud I've probably had for 27 years. And it is actually a mortise and marking combination gauge. So I throw it in there and carry it. I have a little breakaway knife that I use for fine marking purposes. And I have a Leatherman in there. This is the Leatherman Wingman. Those are excellent tools. I'm not much on ratcheting screwdrivers, but I do carry this Cobalt. It has storage in the handle, and it's a pretty good tool. It's made pretty good. It's one of the very few ratcheting drivers that I actually like. I have some pencils and magnifying glass. I have an extra hacksaw blade in there for some reason. Here's some drilling and driving bits here. I have extra coping saw blades. I carry a 4-inch digital protractor, a digital caliper, which I use quite a lot actually. And I have a stick rule in there, a 6-foot stabila wood stick rule. I'm too old-fashioned to not carry a stick rule. Other tools in here is I have a tool roll-up. I sew, and I have sewn these two roll-ups out of ballistic nylon. I do the best I can with the machines that I have. And this concept, it really works. It is a good system for some hand tools, and they're very specifically picked for what I want. I have toothbrush and a steel brush I use for cleaning stuff. Little paintbrush, tiny little paintbrush I use. I can't tell you all the things I use that for, but you can use it for a glue brush. You can use it for mixing up acrylic paints to touch up wood colors. A lot of things. I have some forceps in there. I have a marking awl that I have ground facets on, because I think that really improves the tool for woodworking. If you have a 4-sided wooden awl. I have a cheap compass or scriber. It's essential to me. I like fence pliers, fence style cutting pliers. I have a 4-in-1 rasp. I have an 8-inch crescent wrench. I have an original, the classic 99. This is 10-099. It's the original utility knife. They're the best knife you can buy for the money. They just last and last and last. You just have to have a tool to change blades. Screwdriver. End nippers I think are essential for a carpenter. I have some little sewing machine oil I use for lubing stuff. This is a high voltage screwdriver. If I got into something where I had to mess with a light switch or outlet hot for some dumb reason, I could do it. One of the things I'll put in here that I don't currently have in here is a volt stick. I do have a plumb bob in there, an 8-ounce. Don't use it very often, but because I have a laser in the truck, a dot laser. Regular pliers and pump pliers, or so-called channel locks, I think are essential. I have a sliding T-bevel, a little flat bar. These are great for demo and removing base and stuff to put cabinets in. Bent nose, needle nose, pair of industrial scissors. I have a little 6-inch rule in here. I just like them and carry them all the time. The scissors I may not need. I could probably take those out, but I like them. I occasionally use them. I have a nice Klein slotted screwdriver that I don't use a lot, but I think you should have one, and a number 3 Phillips for doors, commercial doors. So those are some things I carry. Like I say, I carry at least 2 volt sticks in the truck, but you know, you could argue that I should have a volt stick in here. I think every carpenter should carry a volt stick for live circuits. You get into stuff you shouldn't, and all of a sudden you don't know you have a live circuit. I have a lot of tapes, but I'm trying some new DeWalt's, and got a 25-foot tape. I have a Smith's double-sided diamond sharpener in here, so if I get in a bind and have to dress a chisel or knife, I could do it. I have a Miller's Falls number 57 low-angle block plane. I'm not obsessed about having low-angle planes. I just got a good deal on this at the flea market and tuned it up, basically kind of restored it, and it's an awesome cutter. And again, it doesn't need to be a low-angle block plane. I actually like the regular block planes, but this is a good cutter and I carry it. I like it. I have a lot of block planes. I have a 2-foot level in here, a pretty good one. I have a coping saw. I have a homemade cutting gauge I use a lot. I have a lot of these. I have videos on making cutting gauges and marking gauges. I carry a paint scraper, which I should do a video on. Proper sharpening of an old-fashioned paint scraper. They're a good tool to have for different reasons. I carry a Miller's Falls number 4 smoothing plane. It's not one of the best planes that I own for sure. These were an economy model back in their day in the 60s, but properly sharpened, tuned, and set, these are awesome cutters. They'll cut as good as anything, I think. But it's good to carry on a job. I don't use it a lot on the job, but I have used it, and it certainly gets the job done. I have a lightweight tape. I like a 16-foot lightweight one now and then, so I have it in there. And then I have a 2-foot T-square. It's kind of like a drywall square, really. It's a 2-foot model, and it's a good square for laying out plywood. I have a card scraper in here, a nice heavy one, and I have a nice steel rule in here, 12-inch stainless rule, and it also has a centering rule, and I like having a steel rule. So that's the contents of the box, and it's we'll see how it works out. I like my Japanese box that I carried. So much stuff in for the same amount of space, but a different configuration. And I cannot fit everything in this box that I crammed into that Japanese box, but we'll see how it does. And you may want to make yourself this box, and you might like this design. The sides, by the way, are held with cabinet door clips, and they're absolutely effective. They do not fail. And yeah, it's a simple box. These little rails are dowel right here, glued, and everything's glued together, so it's a real sturdy box. So yeah, thanks for watching.